Ah, hello. Apologies, a bit wobbly there. It's a lovely sunny spring day, and I have a spring in my step. And I remarked to my therapist yesterday, as we were in our last session, I said I have started putting these videos on YouTube, and I intend on doing them weekly, but I might just add the extra one in if something goes well, or just to remind myself, because I was like, I'm gonna have like this year's worth of this jar of joy. It's not my. I wish it was my saying. I wish it was my invention. But I will have a year of progress that I can look back on. And I've been dead chuffed with how everything's gone. And it's like I said to her, it's made the real difference to me, because I could get so far on my own, but I only ever felt one step away from breakdown. And if anything came to push me or trial me or any kind of stress, I always felt like I was going to fall apart. And I've been through a lot of shit, and I'm tough, but I never felt like I'd quite made it, And it's like I said, you can get medicine better, but you've got to get person better as well with mental health. And there's so much you need to learn and understand about yourself. And I did so much on my own. When I brought her in, I was really, or when I got the I say I brought her in, I got to my point in the waiting list. It really did push me over the line and help me see things not always slightly differently, but confirm my thinking. And now I genuinely feel I'm approaching the world 3 steps away, and that's a wonderful place to be. I can't remember the last time I felt like that, or felt like that and genuinely knew it was true, not just thought, yeah, I'm doing really well, and then something happens and it's backslide. I may need her again, and I love the fact that I can be honest about that too. But these are videos of my jar of joy. I don't know if anyone watched them. I don't care if anyone watched them, but I am putting them on YouTube, because then I've got my own little private channel. Whether I do it once a week, 10 times a week, or once a month, or I forget for a few months, I have a little reminder, not just about the things I've learned, the things I've learned about myself, but also some really good things. And part of the reason I'm doing this today, is to remind myself that, in the winter I get so terribly down that, spring really is only just around the corner. It's still February, and we're having this day where I can take my coat off, the sun's shining. It's not particularly warm. I'm still a bit chilly around the edges. I've got the old snood on just to stop my neck getting cold. Do not like a cold neck, do not like a cold back. So, but yeah, the sun's there, and I genuinely feel uplifted just by the day. So I can happily report that, spring is here. It's round the corner, and it's a good place to be living. But 2 things happened this week that I just wanted to share. And I am out walking a dog, so I will be looking away just to check on her. Hopefully she won't do a poo, and I'll have to stop just to pick up some poo. It's a runner going by. Anyway, I am going to get by a busy road in a minute, so again, apologies for noise as well. The first thing is, I've talked before about my internal locus and owning my own self and owning my own self-care, and that's still there. And I had to have my landlord in, and I wasn't quite on top of things. I was a bit higgledy-piggledy. I'd had a cleaner in. You saw my kitchen. I was really proud of that. And he just turned around to me and he said, I've been there, I've been through it, I understand. You're doing good, and don't forget that. And he didn't see the mess, he saw the progress, and I was really, really just buoyed up by that. And we had a lovely chat about, he knew I had anxiety, and he always says, if you need any help with any of your forms or anything, just give me a call, I'll help you out. And and he's been really hands off, and it's been really good to know that, if I need anything, to do with the house or anything, he's there. But for him to say that, to see the progress, that really gave me some confidence, because I know I'm going in the right direction, but he said that, and that was like, yay, I'm so happy. And then I got some bad news on Wednesday. My daughter's the current village gala queen, or gala queen as they say here, and because of COVID it was cancelled last year, and they gave her the opportunity if she wanted to stay on and finish her tenure. She'd done the way it works, it's a bit strange, but they do a year, they start at one, and then a year later at the next one they hand over the crown. And then with this one being cancelled, they decided they're going to cancel her tenure. They felt that we shouldn't be fundraising because, to be fair, a lot of people have lost a lot of money, and they didn't want us approaching local businesses. And they said, actually, the last time this happened, there've only ever been one cancelled in the whole 75 years. There's been one cancelled one, and the Queen stood down at the cancellation, and there was just the other Queen. So there is a precedent for this. But I was really upset because firstly they'd offered her the chance to stay on the last time they cancelled, and she's so excited and she loves being a queen. And I know that it's almost a figurehead title. She doesn't really do anything. Have I heard that before about Queen? Anyway, I'm actually pro-royal, so don't tell anyone. Where was I? Oh yeah. So I know she's going to be upset, and I don't want to be the one who tells her. So I turned around to them and I said, well, if we can do the stand down, if we can do obviously costumes and things need redoing because they've all grown over time, and we can do that without approaching anyone and without fundraising, we just do it through hard graft, what's the issue? Can we still do that? And so we're sort of in a bit of a no man's land at the moment, waiting to see what the committee think of that. But I have quite strongly said, if it's a no, then I want you to tell her, because I don't want to tell her that. Now I do know that she'll do the stiff upper lip thing, and she'll be fine, go, yeah, it's fine, no problems. But I'll get the crying and the upset, so I'll get the devastation whatever happens. But I just don't want to be the one that breaks her heart, So now that could have sent me down the toilet. That news could have really upset me. But I just was really practical about it, I think, and so I went back and said, look, I understand what you're saying, but and I'm a bugger, I really am. If they say, like, I offered to run a fundraising evening for them, a Queen's Queen they call it, where you invite all the other queens from the area and they have a bit of a party, and you have a bit of a disco, and you get to raise a bit of money as well. And I just reset up as a children's entertainer, which was a great thing to do before we had a lockdown. So my children's entertainer is currently in a box, in a little early retirement. She'll probably come back out in a few months, maybe in the summer holidays she'll start doing a few things again. But I'm sort of beside the point here. The thing is, I'd offered to do that and I was told no, but with no reason and explanation. I don't like no reason and explanation. I like logic and decisive action. So I say, but why? Why is that? And I know I sort of got this reputation of being really annoying, and I don't mean it. It's just me. It's just the way my brain works. I like the questions answered. I like to square the circle, so to speak. I like to get to a point where I'm happy. So quite a number of times I've gone, but why? That doesn't make any sense. And then once I know, actually, it's something that the committee organises. It's there's an insurance issue. So then when people ask me, I know what I'm saying. But I'm also quite lazy, so when she addresses people on Facebook, and I'm being her, I will write, we've asked if there's going to be a Queen this year, but because it's something the committee have to organise and they don't have enough committee members at the moment, that's not going to happen. And then there was also a question I was asked by a number of people over fundraising, why we don't fundraise the two queens together, the sort of outgoing and incoming queen, especially because parents, we're friends and lots of people know us mutually. And again, I just put it up on Facebook, no, we won't be fundraising together, we've been advised, it hampers the accounting basically. And I was asked to take that down. That was thought of as being disruptive. So I edited the post, I took the part down they didn't like, and and wrote on it edited as requested, so they knew I'd done it. So I think sometimes I'm very misinterpreted, and there's a little history between me and a committee member as well, so where I'd stood up to some bullying, and it was someone he knew and cared very deeply about. So yeah, there's a lot that goes on in a small village behind the scenes that you do wonder if it's you, or if they are just trying to do the right thing. So I didn't get upset, I didn't get paranoid, I didn't get anxious over it. I thought it through sensibly. I offered a reasoned argument, and now I just wait and see. And if it's a no, then I'm okay with that, as long as they do it, as long as they tell her the bad news. She will be upset, but she'll get over it. She did her bit. She had some lovely moments when she was dressed up as Belle, and the little girls watching the parade would go, "It's Belle, it's Belle, it's Belle," and she'd give them we'd run them out little flowers, because they'd be standing at their door, and she had roses to give out, so we'd run these flowers to these girls. And they had this one, and I was so upset because I was so ill. I couldn't even stand up. I was so sick, and it was pouring and pouring with rain, and so I had to coordinate the driver sort of between trying not to vomit and my ex-husband and a dad. And he said, yeah, I'll be there. Now, unbeknownst to me, he actually just dropped her off and left, but her gran was there, so it should have been all right. And one of the other parents was there as well, and I think a couple of parents came and watched, so there was plenty of people around, but not all the parents follow the trailer. You just tend to have one or two. So I did have to deal with phone calls from people saying, you must make sure that you're there, and I was like trying not to vomit, going, I'm really sorry. So I don't know if our 10 years has been wonderful, but I do know that I've tried my best, and I'm quite happy with that. I think that's probably the only moment, and I'm gutted because I've never done the Pill and Coffee Feast, which is what the fair was called, and I was desperate to go this year, and then obviously I was really ill, and I was like snotty crying down the phone, like, I'm so sorry, and then I've caused all these problems, and it really pulled me apart then. And again, it's an object lesson, isn't it? I've realised I've moved on and I've grown. Now I'm going to stop now because I am walking a dog. This is Flossie here. I don't know if you can see her. Flossie, hello. I don't know if you can see her because I didn't flip the phone. We just popped to see Ron and just check his grave for his owner, and then we're going to carry on with our walk. So I'm going to leave you there with a little bit of happiness from my jar of joy. Bye bye.